In the heart of a snowy kingdom, where snowflakes danced merrily in the chilly air, the royal family prepared for their much-anticipated annual Ice Castle Ball. It was New Year's Eve, the time when the kingdom sparkled not only from the twinkling stars above, but also from the excitement bubbling below. Prince Felix, a cheerful young lad with a warm smile and an adventurous spirit, watched from the frosted window of a shimmering ice palace. He loved this time of year, when people from neighboring villages and even far-off lands walked through the snowy paths just to experience the grandeur of the castle and the joy of the ball. Princess Aurelia, his older sister and known for her wisdom and kindness, organized every detail to perfection. She ensured that the entire castle gleamed as if made out of diamonds, while the aroma of delicious feasts spread throughout. Her face gleamed with childlike excitement. As twilight painted the sky in hues of purple and orange, guests wrapped in colorful cloaks began arriving. Among them was a mysterious traveler named Arlo, carrying a beautiful ice sculpture for the royal family. Intrigued by his talent and curious eyes, Prince Felix befriended him. Just as the clock's hands inched closer to midnight, a sudden snowstorm threatened to disrupt the festivities. The guests huddled together, worried about their journey home. But Arlo, with a glint in his eye, assured everyone that all would be well. "Let me show you something I've learned in my travels," Arlo smiled. He placed his hand gently on the palace's ice walls, and magically, a protective dome crafted from sparkling frost grew, shielding the castle from the storm's wrath. As the clock struck midnight, the storm quieted outside the dome, leaving behind a blanket of pristine, untouched snow. Laughter and cheers filled the castle as everyone danced under the magical shimmering ceiling. The night ended with Prince Felix and Princess Aurelia thanking Arlo, not only for his help but for reminding them of the beauty and warmth that comes from unity and friendship. The Ice Castle Ball had turned into an unforgettable New Year's Eve, promising many more enchanting celebrations. Once upon a time, in the charming village of Sweetstone, there lived a young and talented baker named Ella. Ella had a special knack for creating the most delicious pastries and dazzling desserts. Her tiny bakery buzzed with visitors from near and far, who couldn't resist her scrumptious sweet treats. One sunny morning, as Ella was busy rolling dough for her famous cherry pies, a fancy invitation arrived, edged with golden flourishes and sealed with a shimmering wax seal. It was an invitation to the Grand Winter Wonderland Gala, a magical event known for its spectacular ice sculptures and joyous festivities. The invitation came with a special request for Ella to provide her delightful sweets for the gala's esteemed guests. Ella's eyes sparkled with excitement. She had heard about the gala's wonders, from the majestic ice sculptures to the twinkling fairy lights that decorated the snowy pines. Fueled by enthusiasm, Ella got to work, mixing and whipping, stirring and baking. She created an array of delightful sweets, from chocolate-filled pastries to raspberry-topped tarts and honey-drizzled cakes. As the sweet aroma wafted through her little bakery, Ella imagined the smiles her creations would bring. Finally, the day of the gala arrived, and Ella packed her treats into gleaming boxes tied with satin ribbons. Upon reaching the gala, she was mesmerized by the stunning ice sculptures glistening in the moonlight, shaped like playful dolphins and majestic castles. As Ella arranged her sweets on ornate tables, she was greeted by friendly faces, eager to taste her confections. Among the guests, she met Lily, a passionate young artist, and Thomas, a hilarious ice sculptor. They quickly became friends, bonding over their mutual appreciation for creativity and snacks. The night was filled with laughter, music, and snowflakes dancing in the air. Ella's sweets were a sensation, each bite leaving the guests in awe of her talent. The gala was a magical blend of sparkling ice, delightful desserts, and newfound friendships. As the event came to a close, Ella bid farewell to her new friends, her heart full of joy and inspiration. She knew this was just the beginning of many more sweet adventures to come. And so Ella returned to her bakery, daydreaming about her next big event and all the wonders yet to unfold in her delightful world of sweets and smiles. Lyla was an adventurous polar bear cub who loved exploring new places. One day, as the first snowflakes of winter began to fall, her grandma Nana shared a fabulous tale. Far beyond the frost-whispering woods, Nana began with a mysterious twinkle in her eye, lies the magical ice castle, where everything sparkles with the cold beauty of the north. Lyla, intrigued by the wonder of such a place, set off with her little backpack filled with Mama's warm honey biscuits and a scarf Dad knitted, eager to discover the castle herself. As Lyla journeyed through the snow-capped peaks and twinkling valleys, she encountered friendly Arctic foxes and jovial seals that slid on the smooth ice paths beside her. They cheered her on, warming her heart against the whispering winds. After a long trek, she finally reached the edge of the immense frost-whispering woods. The trees were tall and white, and their frosty branches formed sparkling arches over her path, glistening like frosted glass. It was at this special entrance that she felt the thrill of her quest the most. When Lyla finally arrived at the castle, her eyes grew wide with amazement. The ice castle was a masterpiece of frozen wonder, with every surface shining in the soft winter sunlight. Icy chandeliers hung elegantly from the ceiling, their icy crystals reflecting a rainbow of colors all around the grand hall. The walls seemed to shimmer like the night sky filled with stars, whispering tales of the cold and beauty. And right before her rose a grand ice staircase, leading up into the heart of the castle like a pathway to the stars. Filled with awe, Lyla ascended the stairs, her every step making soft crunching sounds like the sweetest song of winter. At the top, she was greeted by Frostina, the friendly ice queen with a warm smile that melted away any cold left in Lila's heart. "Welcome, brave Lyla," Frostina said softly, her voice as soothing as the first snow. "You have found the true magic of the ice castle, sharing your journey with others and discovering wonder in the world around you." Lila's heart swelled with joy, knowing that the tales of her exploration would join the shimmering walls and icy chandeliers, becoming part of the magic that would inspire others for generations to come. Ella's kitchen was a wondrous place filled with the sweet aromas of sugar, spice, and everything nice. Her culinary creations were famous in the small village of Whimsical, but her frosted snowflake cookies were the talk of the town. Each cookie was a masterpiece, a bite-sized piece of art covered in delicate, shimmering icing that captured the imaginations of everyone who tasted them. Ella was not just a baker, she was an artist. Her small hands were quick and nimble, moving with the grace of a butterfly as she piped intricate designs onto each cookie. Every frosted snowflake was unique, just like real snowflakes, no two were the same. And the flavors. Oh, the flavors. With a hint of vanilla and a splash of almond, they melted in your mouth and left a hint of magic on your tongue. The secret to her success wasn't just the quality of her ingredients, it was her joy. Ella loved to bake. She found happiness in each swirl of frosting, each sprinkle of sugar, and it showed in her work. Her kitchen was her sanctuary, a place where she could weave the magic of love into every batch. One cold winter day, as snow softly fell outside her window, Ella prepared for the town's annual winter festival. It was her busiest time of the year. She worked tirelessly, her excitement growing with every tray she pulled from the oven. The air was filled with laughter and the sweet smell of freshly baked cookies. Finally, the festival arrived, and Ella's treats were the star of the event. Her booth was adorned with twinkling lights, beckoning the villagers to come and sample her creations. Children's eyes widened in wonder as they bit into her confections, their faces lighting up with joy. Even the village mayor couldn't resist a taste, declaring them the best cookies he had ever eaten. Ella watched as her cookies spread smiles and exclaimed giggles throughout the festival. Her heart soared, knowing that her small, frosted creations brought people together. It was in those moments that Ella knew, as long as she could share a bit of happiness with others through her baking, she had found her place in the world. In the grand hall of the castle, the clock ticked ever closer to midnight. The air buzzed with excitement as the king, a kind-hearted ruler with a twinkle of mischief in his eyes, stood atop the marble steps. "Ladies and gentlemen," he announced with a flourish of his velvet cape, "in honor of the new year, I proclaim a special dance to commence." The crowd erupted in cheers, for everyone loved the king's dances. The nobles and villagers alike gathered around the polished ballroom floor, their clothes shimmering with the glow of 100 candles. Overhead, the chandeliers sparkled like stars captured in an enchanted net. Among the guests was Pip, a young girl with braided hair and a smile as bright as the moon. She had long dreamed of dancing in the castle. Pip's companion was Biffle, a round, adorable squirrel with a knack for mischief and an irresistible appetite for adventure. As the music began to play, an orchestra of wooden flutes and golden trumpets, Pip felt a thrill run through her. Bravely, she took a step forward, her feet finding the rhythm in the melody. Biffle, not wanting to miss out, scampered up onto Pip's shoulder, chittering in delight. The king watched from his place at the top of the staircase, a soft smile gracing his lips. He noticed Pip and Biffle's playful dancing and decided that this year, the dance would not be for the dignitaries, but for the heart of his kingdom, the people. With a wave of his hand, he signaled the musicians to change the tune to something more lively and upbeat. Clapping his hands, he encouraged all the guests, young and old, to join Pip and Biffle. "Let us dance together, for tonight we celebrate life in all its joy and splendor," he declared. Pip giggled as others joined in, each bringing their own unique flair to the dance floor, a twist here, a hop there. Even Biffle, thrilled to be the center of attention, attempted a little spin, sending ripples of laughter through the crowd. As the clock struck midnight, balloons and streamers showered from above, and the room filled with cheers of "Happy New Year." Pip and Biffle stood in the middle of the joyous chaos, beaming with happiness as they realized that dreams truly could come true. The special dance was a success, and the king knew in his heart that it was just the beginning of a wonderful year, filled with more laughter, more adventures, and more dances with Pip and Biffle at the center of it all. Once upon a time, in the quaint village of Starlight, there lived a sweet and gentle girl named Ella. She had a talent for baking the most delicious pastries, and her tiny bakery was famous throughout the kingdom. Ella, however, was incredibly shy and preferred the warm company of her oven and mixing bowls over bustling crowds. Every month, the grand castle hosted a royal ball, and this time, Ella's treats were chosen to be served. Nervously, Ella delivered her cakes and cookies to the palace, her cheeks as rosy as her strawberry tarts. Though invited to stay for the ball, Ella hesitated by the doors, feeling more comfortable behind the grand curtains. As the music began to play, the hall filled with laughter and swirling gowns, Prince Leo made his entrance. Known for his kind heart and warm smile, Prince Leo was beloved by his people. That evening, his gaze fell upon Ella, almost hidden near the ballroom's entrance. Prince Leo approached her with a gentle smile and said, "I've tasted your wonderful cakes. They're as delightful as the morning sun." Ella blushed deeper, mumbling a timid thank you, her voice barely above a whisper. "Would you care to dance?" asked Prince Leo, extending his hand out towards her. Ella's heart raced. Part of her wanted to slip away quietly, but there was something in Prince Leo's eyes that made her feel seen, appreciated, and surprisingly courageous. With a subtle nod, Ella placed her trembling hand in his and stepped onto the dance floor. The music seemed to play a tune just for them as they twirled amidst the sparkling chandeliers. Throughout the night, Ella's self-consciousness slowly melted away. Prince Leo's friendly conversation and genuine interest in her baking made her feel at ease. Nobody stared, nobody judged. It felt as if they were simply two souls enjoying the magic of the evening. As the clock struck midnight, Ella returned to her corner, smiling. For the first time, her shyness felt more like a gentle friend than a towering obstacle. Prince Leo, grateful for the company and enchanted by Ella's quiet charm, promised to visit her bakery soon. And Ella realized that sometimes magic isn't in grand gestures or enchanted spells, but in small acts of kindness that change the way you see yourself. The end. In a small village nestled between snow-capped mountains, every New Year's Eve was a magical spectacle that filled the hearts of its residents with joy. The villagers would gather at the frozen lake, wrapped in their warmest clothes and with cheeks tinged pink from the cold. Each year, young and old alike built snow sculptures that gleamed like diamonds under the moonlight. The anticipation was palpable as everyone counted down the minutes until the clock struck midnight. But there was one special child among the crowd this year, a boy named Finn who had just moved to the village. Finn had always heard about how breathtaking the village's annual fireworks display was. His grandmother often described it as if the stars themselves had fallen from the sky. So, with his grandmother's scarf wrapped snugly around his neck, Finn stood beside the ice with his new friends. As the village clock tower began to chime each note of midnight, Finn's eyes widened in delight. The first sparkle of light zoomed into the air, bursting into a shower of reds and golds. The silhouette of the village danced in the vibrant spectrum of lights, and the entire frozen lake became a giant mirror reflecting each shimmering firework. Finn imagined each reflection as a portal to a magic world below the ice. Suddenly, a large, dazzling firework exploded into the shape of a butterfly, its wings fluttering as they descended gracefully. "Did you see that?" Finn gasped to his new friend, Lily, whose eyes were as wide as saucers. "A butterfly of light," she exclaimed, clutching his arm in excitement. The show continued with a symphony of whooshing rockets, crackling bursts, and whistling comets. Finn watched mesmerized, as even the smallest lights seemed to dance joyfully across the surface of the ice. As the final boom echoed into the mountains, signaling the end of the show, Finn felt warmth spread through his chest, one that not even the cold night could diminish. This was it, the moment his grandmother had always talked about, a sky full of color reflected in a world of ice. He whispered under his breath, "I wish this never ends." And for a while, in the memories of friends and family around, it wouldn't. For in that little village, a brand new year had begun under a tapestry of lights that crossed the sky and cast dreams upon the ice below. Once upon a time, in the dazzling kingdom of Aurelia, the new year was fast approaching, and excitement was in the air. The kingdom's tradition was to hold the most splendid fireworks display, which echoed far and wide across the serene landscapes. But this year's display was destined to be more special than ever before because Prince Arthur had a secret plan. Prince Arthur was known throughout Aurelia for his boundless imagination and love for surprises. He spent weeks planning a unique way to inspire his people for the coming year. With stars twinkling against the winter night, anticipation filled the air as townspeople gathered at the royal gardens, chattering happily about what wonders awaited them. As the clock struck midnight, an explosive burst of colors painted the sky, each firework more glorious than the last. Gasps of wonder rose from the crowd as mesmerizing dragons and dazzling stars danced across the heavens. But the grand finale was still to come, and nobody was prepared for the wonder Prince Arthur had in store. The prince watched with anticipation, knowing that the final piece would be a masterpiece of magic and light. Suddenly, the sky quieted for a moment, a hushed pause, building the excitement. And then it happened. With a thunderous whoosh and a trail of glittering gold, the fireworks revealed something extraordinary. Mighty letters unfurled, weaving across the night sky, and with every flicker, the kingdom's motto glistened: "Dream big in the new year." A gasp of awe and inspiration rippled through the crowd. Faces lit up with smiles, eyes sparkled with hope, and hearts brimmed with determination. Prince Arthur knew that this motto would encourage everyone to pursue their dreams and make the new year as bright as the fireworks themselves. The people of Aurelia were now more determined than ever to chase their dreams, uplift each other, and fill the coming days with joy and possibilities. And the kingdom shone just a little brighter. Not only because of the fireworks, but also from the dreams ignited within each soul, all thanks to the creative touch of a kind and imaginative prince. As the crowd slowly dispersed, everyone carried with them the shimmering promise of a new year. A new year bursting with big dreams and new beginnings. And so, as the night sky returned to its tranquil darkness, a new chapter began, one illuminated by dreams, hope, and endless possibilities in the enchanting kingdom of Aurelia. Ella was a cheerful little squirrel with a bushy tail and a big dream. She lived in the heart of Oakwood Forest, where she was known for her delicious nut pies and berry tarts. All the forest animals loved her treats, and Ella's little kitchen was always filled with the comforting aroma of baked goods. One chilly autumn morning, as Ella gathered acorns for her latest creation, she had a big idea. Why not open my own bakery, she thought, her eyes sparkling with excitement. I could share my baked delights with everyone, not just the forest. Completely inspired, Ella decided right then to dream bigger. Her bakery would be the most magical bakery ever. Ella spent her days planning, imagining a cozy little shop right at the edge of the forest. It would have a strawberry jam red door, sunflower yellow tables, and a menu full of wild and adventurous pastries. She would call it Ella's Dream Bakery. She envisioned squirrels, rabbits, birds, and even bears coming from miles around to taste her special forest-themed cakes and cookies. With her notebook filled with recipes and heart full of hope, Ella approached her friend Max, the industrious beaver. "Max," she chirped, "could you help me build my bakery?" Max was thrilled and agreed, without a moment's hesitation, already planning the best wooden structure Oakwood had ever seen. As the golden leaves made way for the snowy winter, Ella worked tirelessly. She saved every acorn she could, trading them for flour and sugar with the wise old owl, her trusted supplier. Finally, with the arrival of the new year, Ella's dream bakery was ready to open its doors. The whole forest gathered around to celebrate as Ella nervously placed the last wild berry muffin on display. "Welcome to Ella's Dream Bakery," she exclaimed proudly. The opening day was a tremendous success. The animals didn't just come for the scrumptious treats, but also stayed for Ella's warm and welcoming spirit. The bakery became a central spot for gatherings, laughter, and storytelling. Ella's dream had come true, proving that with a sprinkle of hope, a dollop of hard work, and a dash of friendship, anything was possible. In the quaint little town of Willowbrook, everyone knew and adored Ella, the imaginative baker with a heart as warm and enchanting as her freshly baked bread. Ella had an incredible gift for transforming simple ingredients into the most delightful treats that tickled the taste buds and enchanted the eyes. Her bakery, Ella's Whiskery, was always bustling with townsfolk eager to try her latest creations. Ella had a zest for life and an even greater passion for creating magical moments with her culinary skills. One crisp December evening, Ella decided to host a magical winter feast to celebrate new beginnings. She wanted to bring the whole town together to share laughter, love, and her scrumptious creations. As the clock ticked closer to the event, Ella's bakery took on a life of its own. The air shimmered with the aroma of cinnamon and vanilla, while a symphony of pots clanged jubilantly in her kitchen. Ella was in her element, whisking, stirring, and baking her way into everyone's hearts. The main attraction was her famous stardust cakes, little fluffy wonders topped with a sprinkle of edible glitter. She complemented these with her dreamy chocolate pies and snowflake tarts, each crafted with care and an unmatched sprinkle of Ella's magic. When the evening fell, the townsfolk gathered at the village hall, which was adorned in sparkling lights that mirrored the starry night sky above. The tables spread with Ella's delicious creations, each dish a masterpiece of flavor and art. Cheers and laughter filled the hall, echoing off the walls and through the night. As everyone settled down with a plate of Ella's treats, the hustle and bustle turned into murmurs of pleasure, eyes widening with delight after each bite. Ella, with her rosy cheeks and joyful smile, looked around, relishing the sight of her cherished community coming together. As the night came to a close, glasses clinked and cheery toasts filled the room, honoring friendships old and new. Together, they toasted to new beginnings, to cherished memories, and the promise of tomorrow. The night ended with a chorus of laughter and satisfaction, and the contented hum of a community nourished by Ella's love and culinary magic.